Mom and Kim, and welcome to Ask Mom's podcast. Yay!
All right.
We are not professionals. It's important that we tell you that. But we can share our experience and remind you that
You're awesome.
If you feel the need that if you feel you need professional support, please reach out to a qualified medical expert. We talk about everything, right? Motherhood, the good, the tough, and everything in between. So in this episode, we're diving into a topic that every parent has asked themselves. How much is too much when it comes to extracurricular activities? Are the children okay with being rushed around, eating on the go, doing homework in the car? What does that mean for a family? And can we support this, Kim?
Yeah. So when you sign your child up for scouts, travel soccer, track, chess club, acting, all kinds of that stuff, your intentions are good, right? You want your kid to learn how to hone their skills. Or you see a sports scholarship in their future.
Right.
Right? So you want to hope to make it a tad easier for a child who's shy to make friends, too. Mm-hmm. These are all with the best intentions, right?
Yeah.
But there's this thing called overscheduled childhood culture. Many children feel overwhelmed and pressured because of these overscheduled lives. When your kids need to sync their calendars every morning, maybe that's a sign you're in that overscheduled childhood culture. Have you ever tried to book a play date for your child and it's next to impossible? There's no free time to just play. Just play and be a kid. As a parent, you're always trying to find the right balance between keeping your kids busy and away from those screens and overscheduling them. So you want to expose your kids to a variety of experiences, but you also want to nurture their passions and talents. So this is a tough one. You don't want them falling behind their classmates or shortchange our kids, right? So, compromising their ability to become the next Wayne Gretzky or Mike Myers, these are all dreams. One moment you're signing up your kid for a fun little soccer league, and then the next moment you're mapping out your entire weekend revolving around these games, tournaments, and the snack duty. Now imagine this with more than one kid, right? Oh, that's some serious scheduling.
Oh my God. Exactly, Kim. And so let's talk about parent expectations just for a moment, okay? So I was listening to Dr. John Deloney, mental health expert that co-hosts on the Ramsey Show. I don't know if you've ever watched that, but it's pretty interesting. He piqued my interest because he was talking about parent expectations within children activities. So first, they talked about the expense. So if you're spending way over a budget, maybe you need to rethink this. They quoted that 1% of youth athletes out there playing in minor leagues ever make it to professional sports. So not to say that's not your child, but keep it in perspective. For goodness sake, you go from $80 skates to $400 skates. And there's not a lot of parents out there that can actually really afford that, right? So keep that in mind and keep it real, because that also puts pressure on them. So, yeah, keep it in perspective.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Are you that parent that yells at the refs or worse, your kids for playing lousy or for not trying? If your blood pressure goes up while you're watching your kids playing, then maybe we're taking our kids' hobbies a little too seriously.
No kidding.
Right? Mm-hmm. So when the activity becomes more about the adults' dreams and goals for the kids and not about the kids, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah, exactly. So Dr. Deloney stresses that passionately. The fact that our children do not have the strength to hold up their parents' self-esteem or carry the family. So remember, your youths are watching us, right? They're sensitive to making our parents proud. That could be a lot of unnecessary pressure. So what I mean by that is you have, Stan, who's doing excellent in hockey. He's on the rep team. Everybody's waiting for him to be on the ice. And your whole world is revolving around his practices, his games, right? It's not a family life for anybody else. And poor Stan feels the pressure of that. So if he doesn't have a good game, or if, he's letting people down, that's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean, everything, right down from your grocery shopping, right, to making different meals that'll be better for him, for playing and things like that. There might be a bit of resentment if there are any other kids, too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
And poor Stan, holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So try and remember that these activities are meant to relieve stress in our kids. Let them play and be kids.
Exactly. And don't forget the dance classes, music lessons, swim team, coding camp. Coding camp I like.
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job just keeping up, for goodness sake. What is sacrificed when we overschedule our youth? We want our kids to socialize, and we want them to learn new skills. But when we overschedule them, everyone suffers, especially not only them, but as you said, the other kids in the family. And you too. Stress and anxiety play a big role in our children's lives today. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, it's estimated that 1 in 8 children suffer from an anxiety disorder. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
So more worrisome, the National Institute of Mental Health reports that 25% of teens, so that would be like 13 to 18, will experience some form of anxiety. So much of this stress is because children are just not getting enough downtime. They're being carted around from one activity to another, unable to calm their mind and simply play or connect with their family.
Yikes. Being able to develop that creativity, that involves having the time to explore and grow. When we're creative, we are so into whatever we're working on, we reach this meditative state of flow. How will our children have the chance to be creative if they are constantly rushing between structured activities?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And self-awareness. Our children need to figure out who they are and what they want to become. So to do this, you're right, Kim, they need quiet, calm moments of self-reflection and mindfulness without time restraints, curriculum, and scores. Our children are in too many different activities. They just miss out on opportunities for real self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need that.
No, absolutely. Nobody needs that, right?
No.
And that's the big question. How do we know when it's just too much? An important, super important part of childhood development is getting the right amount of sleep. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, 10 to 13 hours a day is what children aged 3 to 5 need. Between 9 and 12 hours are what kids up to age 12 need, and 8 to 10 hours until they turn 18.
I just need to thank you here for a second. You do a really great job of helping parents identify age. For instance, we did the screen time, and you looked into that, and you said, okay, between this and this many months, they shouldn't really be on it. So it's a great guideline. I mean, the podcast, you can rewind and go back to a specific point. You've done this, like, whenever it's applicable. So I just want to thank you for researching and doing that.
Oh, you're welcome, because that's something I would not know, and everybody's different, right? You could think, 6 hours is enough. Well, let's find out.
Yeah. And let's face it, most of what we talk about, you could find out yourself on the internet. I mean, we apply some of our own experience, but we just want to be credible. If you're listening to us, we've already researched it for you.
Trying to make it easier for you.
Yeah, exactly. So in this case, let's break it down. Okay, so what are the signs that maybe, just maybe, our child is overbooked?
Number 1 is meltdowns.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if your kid is suddenly exhausted, cranky, or done before the day even starts, that might be a sign.
Yeah. Done.
Done.
Yeah, I like that word.
Yeah.
I'm just done.
It applies to adults too.
Yeah, for sure. Or Sunday night tears because Monday means school and 3 activities, not a good sign. If the goal of extracurricular activities is to help your child develop into the best version of themselves, come on, it's important for parents to remember that overscheduling can lead to stress and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need any more things.
Oh my
to help
gosh.
them.
No. Another one is their schoolwork slipping, right? If the grades start dropping or their homework feels impossible to fit in, something's got to give. And you know how crappy you feel when you're in class and you end up not having your homework done and the teacher centers you out. Like, let's just add a bit more anxiety and stress to their lives.
Yeah. Even if they had a good game over the weekend, they're still going to feel that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not forget the joy factor,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if they're no longer excited about something they once loved, that's a big red flag too. Kids' passions are not solid when they're little. They can change. It's great to have the opportunities to try something, but it's also fine for them to say, no, not for me. So let's be open and flexible and not disappointed when they're not choosing something that, we're hoping they will because our friends are going or because it's something we liked.
Agreed. And you know what? It doesn't mean that it's not something that they don't like all of a sudden. It might just be, say, the teacher or whatever class they're in or the team they're on. They might still absolutely love acting, but they're just not getting, what they need from this acting group they're in. But if they tried again later in a different situation, different scenario, it might just be the right click, right? And then they're going to run with it.
That's a really good point, Kim. It might be something they still truly love.
Yeah.
But it's turning into a negative experience.
Exactly. Or say some of the kids on your team, you just don't mesh with them, right? Doesn't mean you don't love hockey still. It's just maybe that's...
You need to know what's going on in the background.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you know what? Ask the kids. We assume they want all these activities, but sometimes they just want to chill.
Mm-hmm.
With you. They might choose a sport that makes you happy because they want to be with you and they want you to be happy.
Let's also normalize downtime. Free play, family dinners, just doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's so great.
Right? And that's just as valuable as any structured activity is.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, during those downtimes, even a look, even if you're watching a show, just a look across the room, giving them a wink or something.
Yeah.
They're so powerful to have that connection.
And don't worry if you catch your child daydreaming, right? It may look like they're wasting time, but they're actually building their brains. Just walk away happy.
Yeah. So a little planning does go a long way. Maybe one sport per season if that's what they want, or one extracurricular at a time. But most importantly, an activity that they want to pursue, and please be open to it again. Instead of piano lessons, hey, they might want to play basketball. And vice versa. Gentle hints in areas that they show an interest in, they might not be, aware of as something they would like to do. But as long as at the end of the day, it's something that they enjoy. They show an interest, music, cooking, hockey. Above all, please listen without judgment of what they really want to try.
Yeah, that's important. Everybody has to find their own path, right? And it doesn't help the kids when we're projecting our own emotions onto them. At the end of the day, our goal isn't to raise the busiest kids, it's to raise happy, well-rounded kids, right?
Yes, and healthy.
Yes.
So Dr. Deloney on that podcast, he had a coach friend. This is kind of sad. Like he was saying that they were treating 18-year-olds for injuries that seniors have, like in their shoulders, their knees, their hips. They were too young to push that hard, and they've ended up damaging their bodies.
Aw.
So, yeah, he was pretty passionate about that. Yeah, so please be careful. All right, parents. So we want to hear from you, please. How do you handle extracurricular overload? What's worked for your family?
Mm-hmm. And email us or leave us a note in the comments below and share your thoughts, please. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps more parents find us, and tell your friends.
Keep the carpool rolling, and remember, it's okay to say no.
Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you feel heard, supported, and empowered. We know you're doing your best. Please send in your questions for Ask Moms, or if you have any ideas for future topics, to askmomstoday@gmail.com.
And please remember, you're not alone. Until next time, please take care of yourself.
You've got this.
this.